Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
Anybody who's got any questions, shoot me your questions. And by the way, and if you haven't done it, go to itrustcapital.com, and they are one of my sponsors. Open an account. I've got two iTrust Capital IRAs. By the way, they just started trading for Avalanche, which is AVAX on the platform. So you can go check that out, itrustcapital.com. Now, yesterday, Charles Gasparino was following up with some of the news about Ripple's repurchase of their stock. Breaking: Ripple's repurchase of its private shares has some crypto investors feeling bullish about company's ability to prevail in SEC case and then IPO possibly this year. Others worry it's a move to limit liability in case of a loss. More now on Fox Business. Now, I could not find, normally there's people out there that are posting video of these things. I couldn't find it anywhere. Maybe they did post it, but I couldn't find it. So luckily, once Charles Gasparino started going on to Liz Clayman's show all the time, I started just recording all of her shows. So I was able to go back and find it. Here we go.
ProShares Bitcoin strategy, or BITO, is flat on the session. And the price of XRP right now relatively unchanged at around 62 cents. But the value of Ripple nearly doubling in the last 24 hours after the company announced a Series C buyback from shareholders. Ripple's latest valuation, $15 billion, a major milestone for the company that currently is tied up in a pretty contentious battle with the Securities and Exchange Commission. To Charlie Gasparino with more on what this could mean for the case and for Ripple.
Yeah, and Liz, we do have some breaking news from the company. Is telling Fox Business exclusively that if they do win this case, and they say part of the reason why they're buying back the shares, the private shares, is because they feel very confident they're going to win the case, is that they plan on going public right after the verdict comes in. So they're telling us this exclusively. They believe their chances are very good. Obviously, it's they may be talking their own book here, but clearly there's a lot of tongues wagging about why they would just turn around and issue XRP, which is kind of their native currency. They say it's not related to Ripple, but the Ripple founders created the XRP. The cryptocurrency. They're selling that, and they're selling that to both pay their legal bills and presumably to buy back these shares. And, it caught the market by surprise yesterday. We were probably the only major outlet that reported this. We were first to report it yesterday. And it values the company, they say, at $15 billion, which is a good thing. But people are looking at this a lot of different ways. They're saying, oh, maybe they're buying it back to limit their liability to outside investors if they should lose the case. When we asked Ripple, they're like, no, we feel very confident. We believe we're buying it back because we're confident in our position. And guess what? As soon as we win, we're going public. Ripple does have an all-star team of lawyers, everybody from Mary Jo White to Professor Grunfest. They got them. They got major firms, Devil Voice, Plimpton, you name it. They're there. They're on Ripple's side to fight the SEC case, which essentially says the XR.
Wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall when Joseph Grunfest is on the phone with Gary Gensler and all this saying, listen, you idiot, you need to get out of this thing because this is making everyone involved look like a bunch of jackasses. Because if I was Joseph Grunfest, he's one of those guys who's too seasoned, too old, and too experienced to give a you-know-what. And I would be pissed. If I was Joseph Grunfest in this whole thing more than anybody else, I would be pissed off. I'd be pissed off that this thing's still going because, remember, he's one of the good guys in this. He's one of the guys that was trying to help the Ethereum guys early on and the Ripple guys early on. He was looking out in the best interest of the industry overall. And he knows what's going on here. He's the one that wrote that letter to Jay Clayton, warning him of all the things that have happened. Well, it's worse than even what Joseph Grunfest predicted. They didn't count on John Deaton. They didn't count on us. And all we ever did was put their own work. Here's the other thing they didn't count on that's so amazing to me. every day that I see all this. The arrogance of the people involved in that Ethereum free pass, running their mouths and going out and bragging about what they did on video, even attorneys. The arrogance is what blows my mind more than anything. And you know where that kind of arrogance comes from? That kind of arrogance comes from getting away with things your entire life. That's where that comes from, because you don't think anything of what you're doing. Well, those of us out here who are working our butts off to support families and doing things the hard way, we did learn those lessons, and that's why we don't have the ridiculous arrogance that comes with doing what these guys have done to expose themselves. It's crazy. All right, here's part two.
We're buying it back because we're confident in our position, and guess what? As soon as we win, we're going public. Ripple does have an all-star team of lawyers. Everybody from Mary Jo White to Professor Grunfest. They got major firms. Devil Voice, Plimpton, you name it. They're there. They're on Ripple's side to fight the SEC case, which essentially says the XRP that they issued or sold early on to build out the Ripple platform was sold as an unregistered security, therefore is illegal, therefore you owe us a lot of money for doing this. How the judge decides all this, I can't tell you. But it is an interesting thing that they went out and essentially bought all their private shares from different investors, and as they fight this case, Liz, it's interesting stuff going on in crypto right now, and obviously, I can't say this enough. The Ripple case is probably the most important milestone right now in crypto. If Ripple wins, that will set SEC and regulatory pressure on crypto back significantly. We'll say that the SEC has limited powers on these cryptos, especially the most established ones like Ethereum and definitely Bitcoin. If SEC wins, all bets are off. Gary Gensler could go after Ethereum if he wants, and he's mentioned that in the past. And as you know, Ethereum is a big crypto. I don't see him going after Bitcoin. That may be like a step too far. But it opens the floodgates if the SEC wins. So that's where we are right now. Fascinating day. By the way,
okay. And then Eleanor Tarrant had weighed in. One of Ripple's shareholders, Tetragon, unsuccessfully sued Ripple to retrieve its 2019 $175 million Series C investment after learning of the SEC lawsuit. Ripple just bought back its original investment, and they tell me Tetragon is still an investor in the company along with the SBI Group. So they're still investors in the company. That's a big deal. Okay. John Deaton had said that he has broken 15,000 messages to Congress asking for an investigation through crypto law. This does not count international holders. Let me see if he said anything else. That's the gist of it. And I said, I'll bet you there are some ex-SEC people and some Ethereum people soiling themselves reading this. As someone told me one time, the longer this goes on, the worse it's going to get. Arrogance got them here, and I think Gary's arrogance is going to make it much worse. Because make no mistake, arrogance is the only reason you'd still be in this mess that Gary is a part of now. And think about his position. He's in a position where he has to get a win. Otherwise, his entire career looks like a joke. That's why Gary's ego's involved in this big time. You better believe it. Plus, he wants that treasury job, is my understanding. Now, then Gary is going to go after these guys here. SEC is probing crypto exchanges Voyager Digital, Gemini Trust, and crypto lender Celsius Network as a part of a wider investigation into crypto companies' interest-paying services. Ripple and the XRP community tried warning everyone. Exactly, we did. And I tell you what, I'll have a hard time feeling sorry for the Winklevoss twins in this thing, because these guys have never been supportive in any way. They haven't even listed XRP. They've never been supportive of the Ripple lawsuit, anything. So these guys they're in essence being turned on here. And John Deaton says, we are witnessing the most blatant attack on disruptive innovation by a government agency acting as a protector of the incumbent banking system. And then I wanted to remind everybody of this, okay? I was retweeting that same tweet from XRP Crypto Wolf, and I said, remember that time Rosalind Layton wrote the Forbes article and asked why the SEC threatened Coinbase on its lending product, but gave Aave, previously ETH lend a free pass. This was her article. I can always tell when Rosalind Layton, she's throwing out clues, and this was one of them. She says, why does Coinbase get, she says, follow the money. Why does Coinbase get a Wells notice while crypto lenders like Aave, built on the Ethereum platform, get a free pass? Okay? And so I decided I'd show you a little more just to make sure everybody knew. Aave was founded by this guy under the name of ETH Lend, one of the first lending applications that were built on the Ethereum blockchain. This is Aave's, the front of their website, folks. It's not like they're doing this in secret or anything. The liquidity protocol, 20 billion. That's not million, that is billion, 20.1 billion. Aave is an open source and non-custodial liquidity protocol for earning interest on deposits and borrowing assets. Now look, I am not telling you that I'm against earning interest. I think we should all be able to earn interest in crypto. My question is, why is the SEC not going after anything that's Ethereum based? They're only attacking things that are separate from Ethereum. And that is not an accident, folks. Not an accident. Now, going down, check this out. So here's some of the investors in Aave. Blockchain Capital caught my attention, and you'll never guess who's the first advisor for Blockchain Capital. I just found that to be a little bit interesting. Now, let's see here. So I tweeted this out because I wanted to drive this point home. Okay. So the SEC shuts down the Coinbase lending product. Now the SEC investigates Gemini, Celsius, and Voyager for their lending products. All while Ethereum 2.0, which they now call Consensus Layer because they had to do a name change. There was too much bad press, I guess. Ethereum 2.0, which is a security issuance in progress, make no mistake, has their people out bragging about the interest you can get by staking. This is Andrew Keys, the one speaking. He was at Consensus. He's now at Dharma Capital and brags over there about the lending and the different things that they've got going on. But listen to this clip.
And trending towards the merge where the Ethereum community essentially shuts off proof of work and evolves fully towards proof of stake, making Ether a more active asset where stakers are going to earn yield, 5-7%, denominated in Ether, with the ability to have kind of a private equity like 10x possibility from here, and trending towards the merge where the Ethereum community essentially shuts off proof of work and evolves fully towards proof of stake, making Ether a more active asset where stakers are going to earn yield, 5-7%, denominated in Ether, with the ability to have kind of a private equity like
How is that possible? Because Gary Gensler said that it was very clear, securities laws, that if you're earning interest, that is mentioned. He said a note. He said it is mentioned in securities law. Why is Gary Gensler not going after anything Ethereum related? And then John Deaton retweeted the thing we covered from Jerry Brito yesterday, and he said, "We are at war, plain and simple." Patrick McHenry also mentioned it. House Dems want to use a so-called China competitiveness bill to give the U.S. Treasury unchecked authority to block Americans' digital currency payments worldwide, among other disastrous policies. This is a threat to privacy and innovation that will help us outcompete the CCP. And then I rolled over in the middle of the night and wrote this based on everything going on. I said, phase 1, give Bitcoin and Ethereum clarity while you intentionally leave all other crypto in limbo, while you wait for your Wall Street buddies to set up their custody. Phase 2, you go after crypto exchanges. No securities license or no brokerage license, and you're out. So they're going after anything, lending, all these crypto. Look, remember, folks, this is everything. These Wall Street guys have been sitting on the sidelines, pissed off for years now, watching Binance and all these companies making billions of dollars, and they've been going to their regulator buddies and they've been saying, listen, we're bound by all these rules. And we've seen Gary Gensler mention this before. We're bound by all these rules. These crypto guys aren't bound by anything. And that's what Gary Gensler's up to, folks. Write it down. He's out there trying to go and crack down on the crypto exchanges. And if trust you me, if they don't have a brokerage license, securities license, whatever the licensure is you need to sell securities, they're going to be out of business, period. And I think that there'll be a handful of winners in that. I think Coinbase probably has gotten their ducks in a row. Gemini probably is about ready with that, I would guess. I don't know about Celsius, I don't know about the others. I know Uphold bought a securities company, so I think they're taken care of. But a lot of these companies, I'm telling you, they're going to be gone. That's what they're really trying to do here. Is Gary Gensler wants everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum to be securities. I don't think he can get away with it on Ethereum any longer, but they want everything to be securities so that he can. Then you got Gary Gensler as the gatekeeper. Then he's the guy who determines he can go to any of the existing crypto exchanges and say, you're out of business, buddy, because you don't have one, and I'm not giving you a securities or a brokerage license. How about that? How about that, folks? I'm not giving you one. Then Gary can be patted on the head by Jamie Dimon and the boys and say, great job, Gary. You did what you were supposed to do. Now we're going to give you the treasury job. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. Phase 2, go after the crypto exchanges. And phase 3, hand off all of this new asset class to your Wall Street buddies. Okay? So even though a lot of this is going to be a bumpy ride, I believe, one way or another, crypto's here. And it's going to happen, but I think they want to have, it's always been the plan to turn all this new asset class over to JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, and that's what Gary's there for, folks. Make no mistake. I can see around corners at this point. When you make 2 and 3 videos a day for over 3 years, and you're talking about one specific topic, you can see it. It's like being Neo. I mean, this is not hard to figure out. Bank XRP, El Fardan Exchange LLC brings its customers to the convenience, safety, and security of real-time cross-border payments through new partnership with Ripple. There you go. And then finally, I said this. This is breaking. President Putin supports the government's proposal to allow regulated Bitcoin and crypto mining. And I said, does it bother anyone that an ex-KGB agent from the Soviet era is more supportive of blockchain than the United States leadership? I fear for my children's future, and that's the truth right there, folks. What's going on, the anti-capitalism that's going on in this country is downright scary. This is what I tell my wife all the time. It's like if you woke up and you're president of the United States, or at least people that are in power, not necessarily the president, but all of them, and you said, you know what, common sense dictates that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. These people do the exact opposite in every case of what common sense would dictate. And I'll give you, here's our example, crypto. It's very obvious at this point to these people, crypto is important to a large percentage of the American population, a very large percentage, to the point where these people are going to get voted out of office. They're looking right at that. They're staring it in the face. And meanwhile, they're trying to do all these tricks behind the scenes, and what they're doing, and this guy is going to take the fall for these people. That guy, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Let's go back. It's worthy of going back and finding it, because he deserves it. This guy right here, from this Jerry Brito tweet. It's this guy. Let's bring him up again. Jim Himes. He looks like a somewhat young guy. Well, Jim, I got bad news for you. You've been had. Because I know how these people play the game. What they did is they got a young guy who can be their fall guy to slide in a piece of legend, just to try to sneak in this anti-crypto piece into this bill. And guess what's going to happen, Jim? You're not going to have a career as a politician, because everybody's going to be on to you, and the people that put you up to it probably knew that you'd be the fall guy.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.